What truly is feeling normal? What truly is feeling normal? We know what excitement feels like. We know what anxiety feels like. We know what all these things feel like. But people imagine feeling normal as a state where nothing hurts, nothing pulls, there's like no anxiety appears, like no old wound comes up, no intrusive thought shows up, and confidence is like this effortless thing that apparently we just have like that and we don't have to practice it at all. Some people do, but but maybe normal isn't the absence of tension. Maybe being normal is learning how to choose while tension is still present. What if normal is not the same thing as never falling off? I think a lot of us imagine normal as this perfect quiet state. Like one day you wake up and there's no anxiety, no weird thoughts, no old wounds, no nervousness, no insecurity, no tension, no pull from the past or image from the past or this thing you regret. Oh, I should have talked to this person. Oh, I should have been friends with this person. Oh, I shouldn't have talked to this person. Oh, I shouldn't have been friends with this person. I should have done this for my family. But I don't know if that's truly real. Or at least, I don't know if that's what we should be waiting for. I feel like a lot of people truly delay life because they think they need to feel normal first. What truly is feeling normal though? Because people try and wait until I've even done this before where I've tried to wait until confidence felt effortless and confidence was this thing that just, ooh, I'm confident now. Or the anxiety just disappears completely. The old scars and emotional wounds stop talking. Emotions are perfectly regulated all day, every day. Your thoughts are perfectly clean. The body feels completely ready and the mind gives permission. And I came to a conclusion for that point of like, if your definition of normal requires you to never feel anything, you might spend your whole life waiting to begin. If you if your definition of normal requires you to never feel tension, you know, which leads me to my next point. Confidence still has anxiety in the room. I've learned this from my recent social escapades, that I think confident people and confidence as a whole still has the aspects of anxiety in it. It just doesn't let the anxiety be the leader, and it's built up off repeated self-trust building reps in itself. Confidence is not always I feel nothing. Sometimes confidence is I feel nervous but I still give the choice and choose the choice to speak. I feel uncertain in myself at times but I still choose to move. I feel watched, but I still show up. I feel the old scar, but I still choose a new direction. This notebook right here is the definition of me choosing a new direction in a new era of my life. You know, this is supposed to help me stay accountable. I feel the temptation to not do anything. Like I felt like not recording nothing. I feel like not doing what I need to do, but I still chose to do it because I know it needs to get done. I feel the pull to hide, but I still record. I feel awkward, but I still take the social rep. Confidence is not the absence of fear. Confidence is refusing to make fear the decision maker, as we should with all of our emotions that we don't like when they surface. We still have the autonomy to choose. I feel like a lot of people forget that. The feeling can be present without being present. Anxiety can be in the room without being on the throne of your life. Now, feeling off doesn't mean you're off the path of where you want to go. There are days I wake up slightly off, not destroyed, not hopeless, just off, like just knocked off my center a little bit, like just like, dang, bro, like another day, you know what I'm saying? And the old version of me might have taken that as a sign that the whole day was ruined. I did that a lot in my past. I did that a lot. One event knocked me off, and I was done for the day. I truly feel feeling off might mean like I just yawned, right? Your body's tired, Your nervous system is adjusting. An old wound got touched, which is okay. It's part of healing. It's okay, right? Your mind is processing. Your subconscious is pulling from old patterns. You may need to slow down, but not quit. You may need a reset, not a new identity crisis or a reinvention, as so much of us try and do, which I feel like the concept of reinvention can be done, should be done a limited amount of times throughout your whole life. I feel like when you're constantly reinventing yourself, it's just like you're running away from something. That's how I feel. If you're consistently doing it. Now there are times where it necessarily needs to happen, where I do believe, yeah, you should definitely reinvent yourself if you're in a predicament or situation or a version of yourself that you truly do not like. I think reinvention is okay. I think it is perfectly fine. God says to reinvent yourself, and to bring yourself back to reinvent yourself, and He'll help you to reinvent yourself. But I truly believe that when I see people continuously reinvent themselves, I feel like you're running from something. Now, while these things could be feeling off, it does not automatically mean you failed. You never truly fail. You only learn. They're only truly setbacks. You never fail. You're back at ground zero. You're not growing. Then it doesn't mean that you're back at zero. It doesn't mean you're not growing. It doesn't mean the new self is fake. As you begin to continue to work on being a new version of yourself, it's going to feel fake at first, but that's okay. It doesn't mean the day is ruined. It doesn't mean the old version is in control again. Feeling off is just information for you to utilize how much further you need to work on yourself. It's not a final verdict of your life and who you want to be. This is where I get really honest with you guys. Subconscious wounds. We need to be okay with feeling the subconscious wound. It's the only way we can grow past it. You can feel the pull of the subconscious wound and still choose a better way. Old wounds do not leave quietly. They leave very loudly, abrasively even. Sometimes they show up as hesitation, nervousness, insecurity, overthinking. That's still sometimes one of my biggest things. Not as much anymore, but I used to be a very big overthinker. Like I think of everything that you could think of, I would think. A girl could say hi. She must like me. Oh, but nah, maybe she doesn't. But no. But the way she looked at me, like, you see how crazy this is? I can talk to someone with money and be like, oh, I must mean something, you know what I'm saying? But maybe this doesn't mean, but maybe, you know what I'm saying? See how cycle, loop. Sometimes they show up as lust. I know a lot of people struggle with lust, and everybody does, you know what I'm saying? I do too, you know what I'm saying? Real talk. But I've built up the systems to avoid that happening as much as possible. I keep myself busy. Sometimes they show up as anger, comparison, avoidance, self-sabotage, the urge to disappear. I know things may be rough through whatever you're going through, but don't disappear. Keep going. The urge to delay the rep. If you get the rep over with, you'll feel so much better than you just delaying it and delaying the inevitable, what you need to do. Get it done. You'll feel so much better. I almost didn't go to the gym today. I almost walked in and walked back out, but I still chose to go in and finish my rep because I needed to. And most importantly, the urge to rush through something meaningful. There are so many times where I see people have this amazing idea or beautiful thought, and then they never give themselves the opportunity to sit there and slowly take their time. They have this business plan and they say, oh yeah, Mom, I'm gonna try and finish this in like 2 weeks. And I'm like, bro, this is something that should take 6 months to finish. And who would have known the 2 weeks may have made them $5,000, but 6 months may have made them $6 million, right? But the appearance of the wound is not the same as agreement with it. A wound can speak without becoming your command center. The old scar can pull, but you don't have to walk in that direction. Healing is not always silence. Healing really isn't silence. Sometimes healing is hearing the old voice and choosing differently anyway. And the more you choose that other option, the less the wound pulls at you and has control over you until it disappears completely. This is important to me. I also think we underestimate how much the mental state affects everything else. People want to fix the outside first, rightfully so. The body, the clothes, the setup, the outfit, the output. everything, right? They want to fix all these external things, where they live, their car, their dream car. And don't get it twisted, those things matter. But if your mind is constantly attacking you, then everything physical becomes harder to sustain. If you have everything you ever wanted on the external, but in the internal you're still fighting your demons continuously, and your mind is not relaxed and light and able for you to create and push through for the rest of the day, which even influences how you treat people, then you got some things to work on internally. This doesn't mean neglect the body. It means the mind and body are connected. There is a book I was reading called The Yogi Science of Breath, and one thing it details is it really puts a lot of emphasis on the alignment of the body, mind, and soul. If one is out of order, the other two are going to pay dearly for it. The neglect of one is going to pay dearly for it. Your whole body, everything about you is going to pay dearly for the neglection of one part. So that's why you make sure that everything is aligned. Your body, mind, and spirit / soul. A walk is physical, but it clears the mind. That's one of the biggest things I've been doing. Walking, right? A shower is physical, but it resets the nervous system. Do you know how many times a cold shower has saved me from doing something stupid that I would have regretted, like, after, right? Recording a video is external, but it builds self-trust internally. Going outside is simple, but it interrupts the loop. Talking to people is something that can be hard at first, but it will better you in the long run. The body carries the mind, but the mind gives the body direction. Like I said earlier, one example is some walks are not me feeling amazing. Some walks are me purposely sitting to choose a new state versus rather than sitting in the old state. Before Another example is videos, right? Before recording, I can feel the pull of nervousness. I can feel those voices telling me, man, stop. Nobody's watching. Don't worry about it. The old scars try to say, don't do it yet. Wait until you feel better. Wait until you look better. Wait until you sound better. But the rep is more important to me than how I feel or what I hear in my head. The rep teaches me that I can still feel that and still move. The camera has become proof that nervousness did not get the final say for me. This example even happened to me this morning. Some mornings I wake up slightly off, and instead of turning that into an identity for the entire day, I'm learning to pull myself back continuously and consciously. Whether I drink tea, shower, walk, prayer, reading my Bible, one clean rep, one next action. I don't need to wake up perfect. I just need to return to my center and myself. Now, maybe I say all this to say, right? Maybe being normal is not drifting. Maybe being normal truly is returning faster. Normalcy is noticing sooner, spiraling less, choosing better, recovering quicker, giving emotions less authority, not letting one thought become the whole identity, not letting one morning become one off morning become one off week, feeling the pull but not calling it your destiny, because your destiny is what you choose your destiny to be. Normal is not never feeling the pull. Normal is not letting the pull become the path. So if you're waiting to feel perfectly normal before you begin, take this video as a lesson. Maybe you don't need to wait for that. Maybe you can begin while still feeling like a human being. Because the most confident person, the most successful person you know, they still feel these emotions that we all do. We're all human beings. They just choose not to listen to them and do their own thing. You can feel nervous and still record. You can feel off and still walk. You can feel anxious and still choose peace. You can feel the old wound and still not obey it. So do not confuse normal with being numb. A better life is not the absence of feeling. It is learning how to choose the right decision while the feeling is still there and present. I love y'all. Peace out.